What's up, family? Man, I want to have a real heart-to-heart conversation with you guys today. Jordan, I got your email. I'm making this video because of your email, and there were some other things that came up to me, and when I read your email, I was like, I need to make this video, and man, thank you for your email. I appreciate it. Family, you guys know my story. Those of you who've been with me for a while, you know that my father murdered my mom right in front of me when I was 2 years old. He went on to go to prison for it. And that kind of, I'm not going to say it messed up my life. It just set a lot of things in place. You know what I mean? It put a lot of things into motion, And one of the things that it put into motion was the fact that I felt like a victim. You know what I mean? I felt like a victim, like, man, here's my dad, this big guy. I'm this 2-year-old kid. There's nothing I could do to stop my dad from stabbing my mom as many times as he was. You know what I mean? There was nothing I could do to stop my mom from screaming out in pain. You know what I mean? Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. And so that put this thing in my mind of, man, I'm a victim. And then at the age of 6, being sexually molested, by Christian people, again, that solidified the fact that, man, I'm a victim. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. And what happened through all of that, man, I lost my voice. And what I mean by that, man, I was born in the 70s. I was born in 1970. And so, man, one of the big sayings at that time was that kids are supposed to be seen, not heard. I'm going to say it again. At that time, the belief system was that kids were to be seen and not heard. Kids didn't have a voice. You know what I mean? Kids, it was what it was. You know what I mean? Just, you had to accept it. You couldn't say nothing about it. Whatever it was going on, man, just deal with it. You know what I mean? Deal with it. And that's what we was told pretty much. You know what I mean? And so, man, that again put so many things into play. You know what I mean? My father passed away in 2018, at the end of 2018. My father not once ever said, or not once ever apologized for murdering my mom. Stay with me. My father passed away when I was 2. Went to prison for a number of years. Got out. He never apologized for the hell that he created in our lives. He never apologized for all the trauma and drama that we had to go through. Stay with me. Even on his deathbed, he never apologized. In any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Stay with me. And why am I saying all this? Because, family, especially if you're a chosen one, and this is going to sound kind of harsh, kind of dismissive, kind of minimizing and all that other stuff. And that's not my intention. Please hear my heart. Please hear my heart. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, it is what it is. If you have chosen one, if you grown, man, grow up. I know it's hurtful. I know it's painful. I know, you know what I mean? I understand that. I've been through some things. But we have to grow up. We have to stop being a freaking victim. How can we be grown and still holding on to baggage from 40, 50 years ago? We have to let that crap go. It is what it is. It is what it is. You can't change it. You can't undo it. All you could do is come to grips with it. Learn the lessons from it. What is it? Whatever it was that you was going through, why did you have to go through that? What was that supposed to teach you? What did you learn? Now, I'm not talking about no self-defense mechanisms where you just hate everybody. You know what I mean? Not where you negative self-defense mechanisms where you build this wall outside of your heart and around you to where, man, I'm impenetrable and can't nobody faze me and can't nobody touch me and I'm never getting close to nobody. I'm not talking about that stupid, insecure, immature mentality. You know what I mean? That's a self-defense mechanism. We have to outgrow that. When you're a kid, that's cool. You know what I mean? When you're a kid, that helps you, it protects you. But now that you're grown, man, you got to let that go. You have to let that go. You can never reach your full potential holding onto your baggage. It's like a snake. Man, snakes shed skin. They can never grow as big as they're going to be holding onto that old skin. You know what I mean? You have to shed that crap, family, however you do it. You have to find a way to say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of holding onto this baggage. I'm not perfect. Me, Elijah, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. And one of the things that God had to show me was, man, if Elijah, if I'm not perfect, how the hell can I hold other people to a higher standard? How the hell can I expect everybody else to be perfect when I know that I'm not perfect? It's not justifying their actions. It's not condoning their actions. It's the simple fact that, man, I'm not perfect. If I'm not perfect, how can I expect and demand that everybody else be perfect? How self-righteous is that? We want and demand everybody else to be on this plateau, and we have this expectation for everybody else that we can't meet. And this was one of my problems with Christianity. You know, we demonize everybody else's sin. We castrate other people for having sins that are different from us. You know what I mean? Just because your sin is different, because your imperfections is different from mine, man, I want to demonize you. I want to put you in hell because you don't sin the way I sin. You know what I mean? Just because your faults are different from the faults of your parents or from those that have abused you and hurt you or whatever it was that you experienced, just because your faults are different from theirs doesn't mean that your faults are less hurtful. It doesn't mean that your faults are better than theirs. That's self-righteous. We have to let that go. Every single one of us is here on a journey. Man, family, we have to grow up. I say this all the time. We have to grow up emotionally. We have to grow up intellectually. We have to grow spiritually. Man, do it suck? Yes, it suck. But man, that's the whole purpose. Learn a lesson. As long as you refuse to learn the lesson, you're going to keep going through that same trauma and drama. If you're sick and tired of it, man, be sick and tired of it and let it go. Don't be sick and tired of it and keep holding on to it. Don't be sick and tired of it and keep holding it close to your heart. And you're still thinking about it on a daily basis. Family, man, that's crazy. That's psychotic at best. Just think about this for a second. You don't like what you experience. You can't stand what you experience. And understand, everybody has their own perspective. Just because you have your perspective of what you went through, don't mean that it's true. Don't mean that it's a fact. You may have your opinion of how you were raised. You may have your opinion of your parents or woo-doo. Just because you're entitled to your opinion, don't mean that your opinion is the truth. It's your perspective. And that's all that it is. I'm not saying that they didn't abuse you. I'm not saying that life wasn't difficult for you. I'm saying that you're entitled to your perspective. And they're entitled to their perspective. The crazy thing, family, is that we don't like what we went through. We don't like the trauma and the pain that we went through. We don't like the suffering that we went through, but yet we'll hold it close to our hearts. Yet we'll hold it and carry it in our minds for years, for decades. How can you not like something? How can you detest something and you hold it that close to you for eons? Man, that's psychotic, family. Man, as a kid, we used to play this game, hot potato. And man, we just throw whatever it was around. Man, as soon as you got it, you just tossing it. You know what I mean? You didn't want to get stuck with it. Whatever it was, you didn't want to get stuck with it. That's how we have to be about our experiences, family. That's how we have to be about our trauma and our drama and all the things that we've gone through. We have to be like, oh, this is hot potato. I ain't holding this crap. You know what I mean? I'm going to deal with this, but I'm not going to carry this into my future. If you didn't like it in your past, and you don't like it here in your present, why do you keep taking it into your future? I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say it a little slower. If you didn't like the hell that you went through in your past, and you don't like it here in your present, why the hell do you keep taking it with you into your future? If you didn't like it then and you don't like it now, odds are, you're not going to like it tomorrow. You're not going to like it next year. You're not going to like it a decade from now. Let it go. Let it go. Learn the lessons and move on. Chosen ones, you can't be a chosen one holding on to baggage like that. You can't reach your full potential holding on to baggage like that. You cannot be a victim and talk about I'm a chosen one. Ain't none of us victims. None of us are victims. Again, I saw my dad murder my mom. Again, I've been molested twice as a kid. I've had people walk out of my lives. I've had a wife that passed away. I've gone through some things, you know what I mean? And don't mean that I've gone through everything everybody else has gone through. But ain't none of us a victim. We have to get rid of that mentality. You can't be a victim and reach your full potential. If you love yourself, if you value yourself, man, let it go. Let it go. That's the one thing that I had to learn about my dad. My dad was never going to ask for forgiveness. That whole generation, my aunt, none of them people, as far as my family, put it that way, none of them ever acknowledged their wrong. None of them ever apologized for anything they've ever did. Man, it is what it is. Either I'm going to stay mad at them the rest of my life or I'm going to let it go. Man, they've gone on with their life. They ain't even tripping off of that no more. You know what I mean? They don't even remember that. And here it is. I'm carrying that crap with me decades after decades, pissed off, offended, and hurt behind some stuff that they did that they're not even thinking about. They don't even remember. And I'm traumatized over it. Family, I say this a lot. Hurt people hurt people. Healed people heal people. And so when that revelation came to me, man, I lost judgment in regards to my father. I stopped judging my aunt and everybody that did something to me. Why? Because I understood that they were hurt. Again, I'm not justifying anything. But I'm no longer holding anyone in judgment for what they did. I'm no longer looking down on anyone for their imperfections. We have to let it go. No more excuses. No more victim mentality. It is what it is. It's time to bury it. It's dead. It's dead. Stop trying to resurrect it. Stop trying to bring it back to life. It's dead. It's gone. Let it go. Let it go. Put the past back into the past. Life is so beautiful. Life is so precious. But you can't enjoy life if you're holding on to past trauma and drama. Man, family, you can't appreciate life holding on to all that negativity. You can't really fully enjoy life and all that it has to offer if you're still messed up over trauma and drama that happened freaking forever ago. As long as you're judging other people and blaming everybody else for your woes in life, you've completely missed it. You've missed it. Life is not about judging other people and putting the blame at other people for how you are and the way you are. You are who you are because you chose to be that way, family. That's a hard pill to swallow. Man, when God slapped me with that reality, man, I was angry at the world. I was angry at God. I didn't want nothing to do with God because in my mind, He allowed all this crap to happen. And when He showed me the reality, because he acknowledged the fact that I was entitled to my perspective. I was entitled to my opinion. Just because I was entitled to my opinion of all the crap that I endured didn't make it right. And He showed me, talking about God showed me, Elijah, yes, you went through all that you went through. There's no denying that. All those things that you said happened, man, that's a fact. Your father murdered your mom right in front of you. You was molested twice. All those things are facts. You were verbally abused. You were emotionally abused as a kid. Yes, you went through all of that. But guess what, Elijah? You chose to respond to each and every one of those situations the way that you did. You chose to continue to carry that crap with you for as long as you did. You didn't have to respond the way you did. You chose to respond that way. You chose to keep carrying that cycle. You chose to keep carrying that drama with you. You chose not to release that. You chose not to forgive those people. You chose to be their judge. You know what I mean? You chose to stand in judgment of all those people. You chose to put yourself on a self-righteous pedestal as though you were God Almighty and condemning all those people for making your life the way that it was. Who are you, Elijah, to judge all of them? Do you know the hell that they went through? Not that that's an excuse, but do you know the pain and suffering they went through? Do you know why they did what they did? Do you understand the hurt and their mentality at the time? Because it's easy to sit back and stand and judge of somebody when you don't know their mental capacity or their mental state at that time. It's easy to say, well, you shouldn't have did this, you should have did this. How the hell can you say that when you don't know what they're going through? It is what it is, family. It is what it is. Let it go. We're coming to the end of 2021. When this year is gone, it's gone. We could sit back and reflect over it. We could sit back and talk about what happened in this year. But 2021 is about to end. And when it ends, we'll never see 2021 again. My hope and prayer is that as we bring this year to an end, we bring also to an end us carrying all of that negativity with us. That is a choice. What transpired in your life is done. It can't be undone. But what can be undone is you continuing to hold all of that drama, all of that negativity, all of that hate, all of that judgment, all of that self-righteousness, all of that arrogance. You choose to hold on to all of that. And you're going to have to make the conscious decision and put forth the work into understanding the pain and suffering and understanding the lessons that you should have gained from that and releasing it. You're not going to forget it, but you release it. And in releasing it, you release the pain associated with it. Now you'll be able to talk about all those experiences. You'll be able to talk about all those things that you endured, and you understand the lessons of them, and you're able to use those experiences to help other people in their situations, in their struggles. The memory is still there. The pain and suffering after you've healed from it no longer is there. As long as there's pain and suffering, you haven't healed from it yet completely. We go through what we go through because we're stars. We're stars. You know what I mean? And so many of us were trying to reach the stars, never realizing that we are the star. Never realizing that we are a star. And so we look at our darkness and we get all mad and frustrated. Man, all this darkness around us, and where's all the other light beings? And man, where's everybody that's like me? And we'll do. Never understanding that stars shine in darkness. You are where you are because that's where you're supposed to shine. It is in the darkness that the stars shine. You could look up at the sky right now in the daylight. You're not going to see the stars. Why? Because there's too much light out. You only see them. It doesn't mean that they're not there. They're still there. You just can't see them because you can only see them in the darkness. You are where you are. You've gone through what you've gone through because you're a beacon. You're a beacon of light. You're a beacon of love. You're a beacon of joy. Recognize who you are. Acknowledge who you are. Embrace who you are. And let your light shine. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.